What just happened? People gasp, phones rise into the air, and a name begins to echo across every corner of social media. Jimin. It's October 1st at Dior's Grand 2026 SS show in Paris, the heart of global fashion. The air is thick with anticipation, and then he steps out of the car. One smile, one effortless wave, and the entire atmosphere shifts. Reporters forget their lines. Fans scream his name like it's a melody they've been waiting their whole lives to sing. Photographers can't take their eyes off him. And by the time he takes his seat in the front row, Jimin isn't just attending a show, he's rewriting its story. According to global data from Onclusive, Jimin became the most mentioned K-pop artist across all 4 of the world's top fashion weeks, Paris, Milan, New York, and London, for the 2026 spring-summer season. But here's what's wild. His dominance wasn't just a small spike, it was a wave. Between September 8th and October 8th, Paris alone recorded an incredible 25 million mentions, more than 70% of all global fashion week buzz combined. Milan had 5.7 million, New York 3.8 million, London 2.7 million. But Paris was on fire, and right at the center of it all was Jimin. The media called it the Jimin effect. On the day of the Dior show, European and American outlets published hundreds of articles with headlines like, open quote, Jimin shines brightest in Paris, and the star who outshone the lights. Close quote. Every single photo of him, from his calm smile to the way he turned his head to greet the designer, spread like wildfire. Even his hashtag, #JiminXDior, became a phenomenon on its own, hitting 4.53 million mentions worldwide. Imagine that. Millions of people across time zones, languages, and continents, all talking about one man in one suit at one event. He wasn't just wearing Dior, he was embodying Dior. Grace, confidence, subtle power, everything that makes luxury unforgettable. Dior itself saw the impact instantly. With a massive 35.4% share of global fashion brand buzz, the brand rose to the very top, outshining every other luxury label. Analysts say Jimin's appearance directly amplified Dior's online presence. One expert even remarked, open quote, you could remove half of Paris Fashion Week's headlines, and you'd still see Jimin's name everywhere. Close quote. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Jimin's overall media share hit 13.46%. That means in every 7 or 8 conversations about Fashion Week, one of them mentioned Jimin. That's domination. Meanwhile, BTS as a group made history too. 5 members ranked among the top 20 most mentioned K-pop artists in global Fashion Week coverage. But Jimin's share alone was almost equal to the combined mentions of the other members. That's how immense his presence was. He wasn't just another guest at Fashion Week, he was the heartbeat of it. Fashion insiders described the crowd's reaction when Jimin arrived. The air went still. The flashes grew brighter. Even among celebrities and designers, eyes subtly turned toward him. It was as if the entire city of Paris, the city that never stops glowing, decided to shine just a bit brighter for him. And maybe that's why people love him so much. Because Jimin doesn't try to take attention. He naturally draws it. He doesn't chase trends, he creates them. His elegance, quiet confidence, and that indescribable aura make every room he walks into feel like a once-in-a-lifetime moment. That day in Paris wasn't about Dior showing a new collection. It became about a story, the story of an artist who transcended music and became a symbol of modern fashion. From Seoul to Paris, from stage lights to runway lights, Jimin proved that true influence doesn't need to be loud. It can be calm, graceful, and still completely unstoppable. Open quote, Paris and Dior shined this season, close quote. So when people say they're only half right, because this year, Paris and Dior shined with Jimin, and the world watched, spellbound.